of Compton's kitchen. How's everybody doing? Y'all all right? Are you having peace in the midst of this pandemic? Faith in the midst of the floods and the fires? Hope in the midst of hurricanes? Encouragement in the midst of earthquakes? Inspiration in the midst of injustice? Strength in the midst of the storms of life? And I hope you're not allowing anybody to jack you for your joy. Well, happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. Today I'm going to cook a meal for my dad. And my son, he's been working a lot, so he and we're not going to hook up until tomorrow. And I will shower him with gifts because I told him, I said, you're an excellent father. Do not think that this woman right here is going to shower you with gifts if you're unworthy. He's an excellent dad, so yes, I'm showering him with gifts tomorrow. And today I'm going to shower my dad with some dinner. And what we're cooking is mixed vegetables, the way God intended it for all of us to get along, come together, different sizes, shapes, and colors, to just come together as one. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mix all these vegetables together. And I'm not talking about out of the can, and I'm definitely not talking about frozen vegetables. I am talking about fresh vegetables. This show, Straight Outta Compton's Kitchen, is all about healthy eating. You see, I am a pescatarian. A pescatarian is one who doesn't eat meat, but still chooses to eat seafood. And then I still eat dairy, so I cannot classify myself as a vegan, even though I do prepare some vegan dishes. All right, I still love cheese, I still love butter, and I still love me some eggs. So therefore, I don't qualify to be a vegan. All right, and I don't qualify to be a complete vegetarian because I still eat fish and seafood. All right, so like I said, this is all about healthy eating, which brings me to the fact that I'm going to put her name up a little bit later. It's going to pop up in a minute. Tabitha. I can't think of the last names, but I will put up her whole name. Tabitha, if you're listening, I made me those carrot dogs, girl. Yes, I did. And they were delicious. So yes, instead of having a vegetarian hot dog, what I did was, just like she told me, take the carrots and boil them. Make them in the size of a hot dog wiener and boil them. So I boiled them in maple syrup, ketchup. I boiled them in A1 steak sauce. I boiled them in liquid smoke, and instead of the liquid aminos, I boiled them in soy sauce along with these other ingredients. 2 carrots, put them in a pot, and I boiled them in all of this stuff. Now, you talking about taste just like a hot dog, look like a hot dog. I'm sure you guys have seen the pictures of the hot dogs, but really they're carrots, look just like a hot dog, taste just like a hot dog. I dressed it up just like a hot dog with mustard and sweet pickle relish, and I put a little bit of fresh coleslaw on top, which was shredded cabbage, onions, and a little bit of mayo. Put that on top, and I'm telling you what, that was good. Oh, did I mention the mustard? Yes, I had to put the mustard on there as well. Let me tell you what, that was good. However, when I woke up the next morning, I had vertigo. And that just simply tells me, because what I like to do, when something's not quite going right with my body, something is off, I got a headache, I got a stomach ache, I like to go back to the last thing that I did that was different. What did I eat that was different? What did I drink that was different? So what did I do that was different? I boiled 2 carrots and all of this sodium. And I woke up with vertigo. So I don't know if I even want to share the recipe with you guys to tell you how I did it. I'm still struggling with that. I would love to share it with you because let me tell you what it did look like and taste just like a hot dog, but too much sodium. So I'm not encouraging poor eating habits. I'm trying to encourage healthy eating habits that you can acquire over time, and you'll see the difference in how you feel. And who knows, some of the medication that some of us are on, we could be weaned off of it. Now, I just say us to include myself in that number, but really, girlfriend, not messing with no medication. I use herbs and spices and you know, things that are natural to help my body. I don't fool with anything that they make in a lab, you know, and I just thank God that I really don't have to. But if my doctor had it her way, the same doctor that said I had neuropathy, when I've never complained about circulation problems, that doctor, she wanted to put me on metformin too. I was like, no. I'll control whatever's going on with my body with diet and exercise. Okay, but you know what? If your doctor has told you something different, I suggest you listen to your doctor because your body may have gotten adjusted or immune to something that your doctor has put you on. So I'm not a doctor. So I'm just telling you what I do for me. And I tell you what, I will not be making any more carrot hot dogs, even though they taste wonderful. I'm not going to fool with that because it raises my blood pressure. So live and learn. All right, guys. So I'm going to cook up that fish for my dad, and I'm going to show you how I do that. And I'm going to put those mixed vegetables together, and I'm going to show you how I do that. And we're going to have an excellent Father's Day. Stay tuned. Today we're going to have roasted vegetables. We're going to use the red and the green bell pepper. We're going to have sliced mushrooms, broccoli florets, red rose potatoes, zucchini, squash, sweet potatoes, and yams. Did I mention onions? We're going to toss some onions in there too. We're going to toss everything in some olive oil and a balsamic vinaigrette. I'll give you the measurements a little later. I also have a bag of fresh Brussels sprouts, and I'm going to toss that with some onions, chopped onions, and I'm going to throw it in the food processor so it'll be shredded, and I'll toss that in some olive oil and put it in the oven as well to be roasted. Also, I'm going to add a little bit of minced garlic. Stay tuned. As you can see here, I've cut everything into cube-sized pieces. So basically, you just take half of the potato, half of the yam, and you just start cutting it in halves until you come up with cubes like this. So I tossed it in. I'm using the Brianna's creamy balsamic vinaigrette, and I'm using olive oil. So I tossed in some but minced garlic, and I'm going to add the other vegetables a little later. I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven because they take longer to cook. Okay? And then we'll be ready to add, as you can see here, I've got my bell pepper and my squash and zucchini. I'll add my mushrooms probably last, and my my broccoli florets, I'll add those last as well. Also on today's menu, we're having baked salmon. Okay, so all I do is my olive oil. And I do like maybe a tablespoon for each fillet. That's a little bit more. I'll do less on that one. Okay. And then what I do is kind of brush that around. I also have a little brush in here. That kind of help me. And then you kind of want it to get on the sides, the olive oil on the sides, because as it's cooking, it'll kind of slip under there. And then when it slips under there, you can easily separate it from the, what is that? You can easily separate it from that scale on the back. Okay, so then I use garlic. You know, I love garlic. So I'm just gonna do that. Try to make sure all of the garlic is on the fish itself, otherwise it will burn on the foil. These are just lessons learned, y'all. So I just try to make sure I get all my garlic on my fish, on my salmon fillets. So y'all doing all right? Good, 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 good. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And you know, some people like to wish me a happy Father's Day because they say I was a father and a mother to my son. But honey, I was the best mother that I could be to my son. I was not trying to be his father. I do not know what it's like to be a man. So that's why I have my son around coaches and uncles and cousins. And of course, I had him around my father. But I was not trying to be his father. Said, nope, I can only be the best mother that I can be. All right, so after I do that, I season it with Slap Your Mama. And I only season on one side. So the thing is, you know, sprinkle lightly. Just lightly. You don't need a whole lot. You don't need to be heavy-handed. And so I put this in an oven of 425 degrees. And I let it cook for about 20 minutes. And it is done. All right, y'all. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, our fillet of salmon is done. As you can see, this is how the skin is left on the tray. So I just take my spatula and I just kind of lift under there. And I leave that skin behind. And then I just drop it in my dish. Don't that look good, y'all? Let me bring that up so you can see. Go on, Valerie. I mean, Chef BBO. Okay, see you in the next segment. That's it. That's all, y'all. Don't they look good? So I'm going to go take this to my parents. We got our fresh salmon. And we've got our multiple roasted vegetables. I'm going to go over there and make the peach cobbler. So I may have to show you guys how to do that later or another time. Also, I decided not to do the Brussels sprouts because I'm tired. I'd have to shred the Brussels sprouts, toss them in the olive oil, shred some, not shred, but dice some onions and garlic, and then put that in the oven and let that sit for a good 30 to 40 minutes. You know, it's 3 o'clock. I need to go see my parents, okay? So I'll talk to you guys a little later. Have a wonderful day. Bon appetit.